You're 8 years old, playing with clay figures outside your family's modest stone house in Tenochtitlan, 1487. The morning air smells of maize and incense from the great temple. Your mother hums while grinding corn, and your father shapes obsidian blades for trade. Life feels normal, predictable, safe. Then the priests arrive. Not the friendly neighborhood priests who bless your harvests, but the ones with jade ornaments and feathered headdresses who speak in hushed, reverent tones. They examine your hands, your teeth, your unblemished skin. Your parents bow so low their foreheads touch the ground. The head priest nods approvingly. You've been chosen by the gods themselves. Congratulations, your childhood just ended. The priest explains with a voice like honey over obsidian. You're perfect, unmarked by disease or injury. The gods demand perfection for their most sacred ceremonies. Your parents weep, but not from sorrow. These are tears of overwhelming honor. Their child will feed the sun, ensure the rains come, keep the world spinning. What greater purpose could there be? You don't understand why everyone's crying if this is such good news. The priest places a jade pendant around your neck, marking you as sacred property. From this moment forward, you belong to the gods. Your new home is a temple compound near the heart of the city. Stone walls tower overhead, carved with serpents and jaguars that seem to watch your every move. Other chosen children live here too, boys and girls from across the empire. Some are older, some younger, all bearing that same jade pendant. The priests call you flowers, precious offerings destined to bloom in divine sacrifice. You learn quickly that being a flower means following strict rules. No running, no shouting, no playing games that might bruise your sacred skin. Perfect offerings require perfect behavior. Training begins immediately. You must learn the songs that please the gods, the dances that honor their power, the prayers that prepare your soul for its journey to the heavens. Every morning starts before dawn with ritual bathing in sacred pools. The water is cold enough to shock you awake, blessed with herbs that keep your skin flawless. Priests examine you daily, checking for any imperfection that might displease the gods. A single pimple could ruin everything they warn. The gods despise flawed offerings. Your diet becomes sacred sustenance. Only the finest foods touch your lips. Honey cakes, chocolate reserved for nobility, fruits picked at perfect ripeness. You grow plump and healthy, while common children outside these walls scrape by on corn mush and beans. The priests explain this isn't luxury, but necessity. The gods hunger for well-fed flesh, blood rich with fine foods. You're being fattened like a prized turkey, though nobody uses those words. Instead, they speak of nourishment for your divine purpose. Months pass in this strange paradise of preparation. You learn the creation myths, how the gods sacrificed themselves to birth the sun and moon. Now mortals must return that favor, feeding the gods with their own blood to keep the cosmos balanced. It sounds noble when the priests explain it. You're not dying, you're completing the sacred cycle. Your death will bring life to thousands, ensure good harvests, keep the sun rising each morning. What could be more important than that? The other children become your family. There's Itzel, chosen for her beautiful voice that will sing the gods to sleep. Nekali, picked for his brave heart that beats strong enough to power the sun. Xochitl, selected for her grace in the ritual dances. You share meals, lessons, and whispered conversations after the priests retire. Some nights you talk about your old families, wondering if your parents still think of you. Other nights, you discuss what awaits you, trying to imagine the honor of feeding the gods with your very essence. The priests teach you about different types of sacrifice. Some children will have their hearts cut out on the altar, offering their beating organs to the sun god. Others will be drowned in sacred pools, their tears feeding the rain god. A few will be flayed alive, their skin worn by priests to ensure agricultural fertility. Each method serves a different divine purpose, they explain calmly. The gods have varied appetites, and sacred offerings must match their specific hungers. You're 10 now, and the priests begin hinting that your time approaches. The next great festival is only months away, and preparations have started in earnest. Your training intensifies. The songs must be perfect, the dances flawless, your spiritual preparation complete. There's no room for error when you're destined to nourish the gods themselves, ourish the gods themselves. The festival preparations consume the temple compound like wildfire. Priests rush between chambers carrying obsidian knives, jade ceremonial bowls, and rolls of bark paper covered in sacred calculations. They're determining the exact moment when the stars align, when the gods will be hungriest for your offering. You watch them work with the fascination of someone whose entire existence depends on their precision. Every detail matters when you're the main course at a divine banquet. Your final education begins with anatomy lessons that would make a warrior queasy. The priests show you exactly where your heart sits, how the obsidian blade will slice between your ribs, the angle needed to extract the organ while it still beats. They speak with the clinical detachment of craftsmen discussing their trade. This knowledge isn't meant to terrify you, but to prepare you spiritually. Understanding your death makes you a willing participant rather than a helpless victim. The gods appreciate cooperation. Other chosen children start disappearing from the compound, not all at once, but gradually, like morning mist burning away under the sun. Itzel vanishes after the priests praise her singing voice one final time. Nekali's sleeping mat sits empty after a night of ceremonial drumming. The priests explain they've been called to serve in preliminary rituals, smaller ceremonies that build toward the grand festival. You know better. They're gone, transformed into divine nourishment, their purpose fulfilled. Soon it will be your turn. The remaining children grow quiet, contemplative. Conversations turn from childhood memories to spiritual preparations. Xochitl teaches you breathing techniques to remain calm during the final ceremony. Another girl, Kitlali, shares prayers her grandmother taught her for communicating with ancestors. You're all becoming something more than human, transitioning from earthly children to sacred vessels. The priests nod approvingly when they see you embracing this transformation. Acceptance is crucial for a proper sacrifice. Your parents visit one final time, bearing gifts they've spent months creating. Your mother brings a feathered cloak, woven with your favourite colours, threads dyed with cochineal and indigo. Your father presents obsidian earrings carved with tiny hummingbirds, symbols of souls ascending to the heavens. They speak of honour and pride, but their eyes betray deeper emotions they're forbidden to express. Grief has no place in a sacred offering. They kiss your forehead and depart quickly before their human weakness can contaminate your divine purpose. The night before the ceremony, sleep becomes impossible. You lie on your sleeping mat listening to distant drums echoing across the city. Thousands of people are preparing for tomorrow's festival, gathering flowers and burning copal incense. They're celebrating your upcoming transformation, though most will never see your face or know your name. You're becoming an abstract concept, a necessary sacrifice for the greater good. The individual child you once were is dissolving into something larger and more important. Dawn arrives with the sound of conch shells blown from the great temple's peak. Priests enter your chamber, carrying ceremonial robes that shimmer with gold and turquoise. They dress you with reverent care, each garment placed according to ancient traditions. The jade pendant around your neck feels heavier now, weighted with significance. Your reflection in a polished obsidian mirror shows a stranger, someone transformed by destiny into something both terrible and beautiful. The procession begins as thousands of citizens line the causeway leading to the great temple. Their faces show a mixture of awe and anticipation as you pass. Children point and whisper about the chosen one walking among them. Adults bow their heads in respect for your sacred purpose. You move through the crowd like a living god, elevated above ordinary humanity by your willingness to feed the divine powers that sustain the world. Each step up the temple pyramid brings you closer to your destiny. The obsidian blade waits at the summit, sharp enough to slice between dimensions. The altar stone bears stains from countless offerings before you, evidence of the sacred cycle you're about to complete. The priest raises the knife, and you realize this moment has been inevitable since the day you were born. Your heart beats its final rhythm, ready to power the sun for one more day. More day. Your life as an Aztec sacrifice victim wasn't a tragedy in your eyes or the eyes of your people. It was the highest honor imaginable, a destiny that elevated you from ordinary child to divine messenger. From that first moment when the priests placed the jade pendant around your neck, you understood your purpose with a clarity most people never experience. You were chosen to feed the gods, to ensure the sun would rise and the rains would fall. Every song you learned, every dance you mastered, every prayer you whispered prepared you for this ultimate act of cosmic service. The luxurious food, the reverent treatment, the careful preparation, it all led to this singular moment of transformation. Your beating heart would join the eternal rhythm that keeps the universe spinning. Your blood would nourish the divine powers that protect your people from chaos and darkness. In a world where most lives ended in disease, warfare, or starvation, you achieved something far greater. You became the bridge between mortal and divine, ensuring your civilization's survival through the ultimate sacrifice. This was your life as an Aztec sacrifice victim, an existence that modern minds struggle to comprehend, but one that carried profound meaning in its time. You weren't a victim at all, but a willing participant in the cosmic dance that held the world together, one sacred heartbeat at a time.